Well, I did it. Hello, I am Random Nonsense. I finally watched Camino. I named the movie after a car. Camino, the Breaking Bad movie. Yeah, I finally watched it. Uh, alright. Honestly, this movie was not needed. I'm starting off negative. Like, no. Uh, Honestly, I'm glad it was made. I said two different things. It wasn't needed, but I'm glad it was made. There you go. Negative and a positive. We made an electron. No, I'm all going all sciency on you. Uh, Walter's still dead though. I guess that's why we didn't need this. Walter's still dead, but we needed to continue Jesse's story. Why not? Why not? A bonus. I don't know if I'd. I mean, It's considered a movie, but I don't know. It could easily just. I guess it does have a movie feel because it does feel a little bit different than the show. But honestly, it could just. It's it's technically just another two episodes because it's like a little longer than 2 hours if you include the credits. But yeah, uh, it was good, no doubt. And just like the show, like how the show would put certain scenes when they were needed instead of earlier in the show, you know, because they do show some parts from the past and it plays an importance more to how this story plays out. But yeah, Walter's still dead. And Jesse finds out on the radio. That's how he finds out that Walter died. Uh, but yeah, Jesse's story. Honestly, this movie, like I said, it wasn't needed. It could just ended how they ended the show, him just driving off. But no, they gotta finish the story, let him get away. You know, he driving away. He's got to actually be away. How do I explain this? Well, first it gives us a flashback. They have to show us Mike. They have to show us Jesse and Mike's relationship again. I was upset that the way that Mike died in the show, but uh, and that's where this whole going to Alaska thing came from. Because that's where Jesse wants to go. He wants to go to Alaska because he asked Mike, where would you go if you were my age? And he said Alaska. So sure enough, that's where Jesse decides he wants to go to Alaska. As us all freeze to death in the snow. No. Uh, no, he doesn't die. He doesn't die at the end of the movie. He's just free. He's away from. He can live his life like he always wanted to. But yeah, in a way, this movie was needed for the fact, yeah, he definitely struggles with PTSD after being locked in a cage in the ground. Yeah, who wouldn't be locked in the cage like a gorilla or something? Because the only way he can escape, the cage opens from the top. There's no other direction to get in that cage. But and come to find out that that fucker who shot a kid when they were trying to steal meth from the train in the original series, the kid, that guy who shot the kid and took his pet tarantula. Find out a little more stuff happened between him and Jesse. Yeah, he had the chance to kill him sooner. Apparently, Jesse could have killed that fucker sooner. Makes you more upset. Why do you have to live so fucking long? uh, but yeah, it's kind of good because I guess that tarantula is still in that guy's place, still alive in the fucking tank and shit. We needed to know that. We needed to know that the fucking tarantula still lived. Kill that fucking spider. I hate spiders, but I'm going off topic a little bit. Yeah, this was more played like 2 episodes in a way. Plus, there's more flashbacks. There's, of course, a flashback between Jesse and Walter White, of course, because, they're the two main characters of the show. Well, Walter's dead in the movie, but it's a flashback. Well, back near the beginning when they were still having an RV, when they were still cooking meth in the RV instead of in the lab. They're there at a buffet, and Walter's all. Also, they specify obviously Walter still has cancer at the time too. We all know that, but they're there at a buffet. Jesse gets a pile up of food. Meanwhile, Walter just has like eggs and bacon on his plate. Water. And it's weird because Jesse, the waiter's like, it should honestly be mandatory that the waiter leaves you a pitcher of water. That should just be fucking mandatory at all restaurants. Like, you're just gonna fill up my cup and then take the pitcher away. Like, why? You should just leave me the pitcher. I'm obviously gonna need more water. You're gonna have to take more trips. So Jesse pays the waiter so he could keep the pitcher of water at the table. uh uh I just needed to talk about the scene already. I, I know I'm not going in order of the movie or the 2 episodes, 2 hours, Uh but yeah, Walter's all talking about of college and just you can go to college or something. And he's for thinking for medicine, but Walter tells him no for like business and management. You're good at that stuff or whatever. So yeah, but Walter's also like, you get your GED, and then Jesse's like, I got my high school diploma, you dick. You were right there when it got handed to me. That was just the dumbest conversation, but it was kind of funny. I don't just the way it was played out. All right, go back to Jesse and that fucker who killed a kid on a that had to pet tarantula, that wanted a tarantula from the desert. Um, come to find out, that guy let Jesse out of the cage once while his uncle was gone, and he he uh he needed Jesse's help, you know, because it's not bad enough that that guy killed a kid. No, he reached a new level. He killed the freaking he killed his cleaning lady. Like what? So yeah, Jesse has to go to his place with him to get rid of the dead body. They wrap up the body in a rug. Yeah, and they have to. Jesse like has to toss it off the balcony, and so they could put it in the car, which just which another thing, they have to go get a canopy for the car first because it doesn't have a cover. It's like a car truck, it doesn't have the canopy to cover it. The canopy. Okay, the lame immature jokes, I guess. Whatever. I don't know what. uh, but another thing is, I guess at that guy's place, he used to cut his books. Yeah, he used to put money in his books, his encyclopedias, because he's not a nerd. He doesn't need to keep the encyclopedias. He needs to put his stacks of cash in that shit. Yeah. um. So that's what Jesse does after later on. Obviously, after because that's in the past, because that fucker who killed a kid, Jesse eventually choked the fuck out of him. Thank goodness for that. Strangled him to death. Uh, but yeah, he had a shot to shoot him, but I'm not gonna get there yet. I guess I can get there. Uh, yeah, when they're burying the cleaning lady out in the desert, because it's a nice spot where there's a sunrise or whatever. She always wanted to be where it's a nice place, so they bury her out in the fucking desert in the sand, shit, and Dusty has to dig it and put the body in there, and then oh, I forgot to mention before they leave the cage, that guy that killed the kid, yeah, because I don't remember his name, kid killer, cleaning lady killer, cleaning lady killer, he freaking before he lets Jesse out of the cage, he asks if he wants a cigarette, so he lights up the cigarette and he ties a little string on the and puts it down in the cage, for Jesse to have that cigarette. Later on, when they're burying the cleaning lady, uh, that guy's like, "There's another pack of smokes in the glove box. Will you go get it for me?" So yeah, Jesse sees a gun in there, and he grabs the gun. He's tempted to shoot this guy, but that guy talks him out of it. He's like, you've we can go get a pizza. You've earned it. Yeah, because just because this fucker killed people, you're gonna let him live because you want to eat some pizza. Okay, I won't kill you. Just give me some pizza since you're gonna give me some pizza. So cool. Uh, and he's like, "Can I get pizza? You like pepperoni?" Speaking of something that does not belong on pizza, let's go back to Jesse and Walter White. Pineapple. Yeah, pineapple does not belong on pizza. If you put that shit on pizza, you're disgusting. Uh, but yeah. So Jesse and Walter and then the restaurant, they're like, "You need to eat some pineapple's good." And he's like, "Well, you don't like Walter. You don't like pineapple." And Walter's like, "I could take it or leave it," which is true. That's how a pineapple is. You're in the mood for it when you're in the mood for it, and it does not belong on pizza. Ugh. Um. Okay, let's go back to the desert with pizza. No. um. So yeah, they're in the desert burying the cleaning lady. He's gonna get him pizza, pepperoni pizza. So obviously they take off. But later on, you know how. Oh yeah, I better mention before they go to that apartment, that guy's apartment or whatever, and the money in the encyclopedia and shit. He's like talks about how Jesse's second girlfriend, how she about her about him killing her. That but my uncle's serious. Don't make them don't escape again, or that kid's gonna get shot. So yeah, there's that. What else? Oh yeah, I guess that leash that moves between the place or whatever. They're there getting that thing repaired or whatever. The guy's like, you need to put more bars on it because the guy, I don't need to put more, it's strong enough or whatever. Something about fish poles or some shit. I don't know, but yeah, fishing poles you can use to that'll tighten it, right? No, but yeah, just he has to run back and forth on that really fast, and yeah, fuckers. Oh, oh, before I get to see, I'm going all over the place. I'm going back to the beginning of the movie. Jesse ends up going to his friends, and they his friend offers to let him take a shower. Come to find out, those motherfuckers that locked him in the cage, they fucking hosed him off with really high powered, like what firefighters use or some shit. It was really pressurized water. Must have hurt too. But yeah. So yeah, Jesse's friends. He goes there because he's trying to get rid of the car, and obviously his one friend offers him another car, and they're like they were gonna get rid of it to that guy who crunches cars. Yeah, they were gonna try and get rid of that car to him, but he like scanned it or whatever. I guess there's a way to track the car. So that was happened. So, but his friend stays there with the car. They're gonna track it down anyways, and Jesse's like, "Why are you doing this?" And the guy gives him his hat. Jesse's like, and the guy says to Jesse, "You're my hero," or whatever. You're my fucking hero, man. Yeah, true friends. Jesse definitely has true friends. Um, okay. The leash. Okay, I guess we can go to the future now. Uh, uh, just oh yeah, the guy who killed the kid. He obviously moved the money. It's no longer in the encyclopedias. Just goes back to the apartment after the whole escaping the cage, and that guy fucking dies. But Jesse goes back to that guy's place to find the money. He like tears up the wallpaper and everything, trying to find the money. Come to find out, it's in the fridge. It's in the fridge. You know, you have to take the fridge apart. It's like the fridge door. You know, like in that sealant or whatever it's called, on the shelves and stuff. Yeah, it's in there. There's a lot more money this time too. But when Jesse's there, what happens is one stack of cash falls out first. But then what do you know? Here comes the police, or so we think. No, they're crooked. They're crooked people. That one guy who helped build the poles for the leash to go on for that he was attached to or whatever. But yeah, that fucking guy. So there's two crooked cops then. Even yeah, that guy eventually ends up. Well, one guy leaves to talk to the neighbor or whatever stuff, but the guy ends up agreeing to split the money three ways. But what do you know? After that, Jesse leaves. The other guy leaves. Yeah. And what does Jesse do? He goes to the vacuum store. Yeah. He goes to the guy who makes and fixes vacuum cleaners, because that's the guy that you need to go to if you want to get a new identity or escape to a different state. Yeah, that guy. But you know, Jesse messed up before once in the original show. So what does he? He has to pay that guy that money that was gonna help him escape before. He owes him that money, and he's got to pay him more money. He's got to pay him the same amount, double. So he's got to pay him double the amount. Got to pay him for that time that he missed his ride. get a new identity. But yeah, Jesse doesn't have enough money because it's split three ways or whatever. He just needs 1,800. Oh, I forgot to mention his friends gave him money too. That's how he was able to have a little more because it was gonna be a lot. It was gonna be a good amount more. But yeah, that guy doesn't help him out because it's not the exact fucking money. So he has to go back to he has to find those crooked cops who I think own a tow yard too or something whatever. But they're all I guess you can get hookers, strippers or whatever. Hooker strippers, yeah. Because that those guys they called or whatever those guys they got a Jeep with strippers coming or hookers or whatever. They have their own bouncer even. Yeah. Coming out of a big giant a Jeep. I remembered a lot about this movie more than I thought. um, well, then again, I only watched half of it last night, half of it to this morning, but yeah, 'cause I was getting tired at the time. But so Jesse goes to those cops. I guess I should go back to the vacuum cleaner guy. The vacuum cleaner guy doesn't go for his money. He calls the cops on Jesse. Jesse thinks he's bluffing because this is true. The cops they do make you wait. They're like, hold on, whatever they'll call you back or so whatever. Yeah, but yeah, there's no way you can get a hold of the cops that fast. What the guy wasn't bluffing, so. But before we get to Jesse getting the money from those crooked cops, he I gotta mention he saw his parents on the news, just saying that he should turn himself in, and so what does Jesse do? He calls his parents. Of course he calls his parents and tells them to meet them at a certain place, and so they leave, and he has to go. He has to look underneath a brick for the spare key, because he's gonna break into his parents' safe, and he's not stealing money because he's got to steal money from these crooked crops instead. He opens the safe and there's two guns there because one gun's not good enough. He needs two. um he he uh he gets guns, two little handguns, so he can get the money back from the good cops. And they're like, "You didn't have a gun last time. You have a gun this time. Well, you gonna shoot at me or whatever?" And they're like trying to play it out like you shoot first or I shoot first. They're like playing it like a Western movie, I guess. But yeah, it's weird. But Jesse obviously gets the shots first, kills the guy, and his friend has a gun too, but he ends up trying to kill that guy too, the other crooked cop, and he shoots a bullet right in his fucking head. Yeah, he gets a headshot. Not yeah, it's to shoot that first crooked cop, the one that made the bars for the moving around the lab, But yeah, he kills some crooked cops, and there's other people there. Oh, I mentioned the hookers or strippers already left. Um, I guess I mean you don't get to see them naked, so are they really strippers? I guess they're just hookers then. Um, so yeah, he kills him. He gets the money. He goes back to the vacuum cleaner guy. Yay. So he's able to escape to Alaska. What do they gotta do? They gotta do another flashback at the end of the movie. Have his first girlfriend. The actress who played Jessica Jones, they had to have another flashback with them too. Because they were gonna escape at 1.2, but then she OD'd a lot. Honestly, they should. That was the first time he should have done this. He should have escaped, but he made her an addict again, so she died, and so he didn't want to go yet. Hell, he didn't even know. Yeah, he didn't know that Walter watched until the end of the series, near the end of the series too. But yeah, so he's in Alaska now. He's free. He's free from the law of the land. He's in Alaska. Just go 40 mile. Guy gives him a car. Just go 40 miles this way. So this guy is able to be roaming around. Unlike Walter, when he was in his cabin, he had to stay there. But Jesse's allowed to move free will, I guess. Because it's Alaska. No, they're Alaska's news report's probably behind or some shit. No, it was a good movie, no doubt. It wasn't needed, but it was nice to have. I enjoyed it for what it was. But yeah, random nonsense. Peace out.